Hi, in this video I am going to talk about how to sew the front, the back, and your two side pieces to the bottom and pocket lining. Now you've already made all of your pieces, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that you have fused to interfacing. You've put 2 pieces of fabric right sides together. You've stitched all the way around the outside and you have turned those pieces right side out. Now on the bottom and pocket lining, you want to stitch that hole closed, and it's right over on that side before you do this step. On the other pieces, the front, the back, and the 2 ends, you can leave that opening closed because in the next step I'm going to show you how to sew that opening shut and sew the piece to the bottom at the same time. Before I flip this over, you would have drawn a line around the bottom of the piece, the bottom section of this particular piece already. The instructions are in your pattern to do so. Now I'm going to flip this over. These are big pieces, so don't be surprised if you have to manhandle them a little bit in your sewing machine to get everything through. Okay. So the other thing that you would have done, besides drawing lines on the bottom, outlining the bottom, you would have drawn guidelines on each of your side and front and back pieces. That just helps you position them here, and it will also help with the side seams when we get to that. Now also you have an option to make an inside pocket for the bag. You want to make those and pin them, sew them to the front and back, and pin them to the bottom. You don't have to sew your opening closed because when we stitch this bottom on, we're going to close that opening while we do that. Also, if you want to sew your handles on by machine, you can do that. You want to do that before you sew your front and back to the bottom. So this is an option. I prefer to hand sew, but you can machine sew your handles to the bag, and you want to do that now. Your pockets are on the inside of the front and back, and your handles are on the outside. So just make sure that they're on opposite sides. So when you sew your sides and your front and back to the bottom, you're going to position your piece so that these guidelines actually line up with the lines that you drew on the bottom. You're going to stitch between those guidelines. You're going to start a 1/2 inch in and stop a 1/2 inch before you get to the guideline. Do the same with the front and back. Start stitching 1/2 inch from this guideline, 1/2 inch in from that guideline. Stitch all the way across, catching the pocket opening and the opening of the front or the back in your stitches, and then stop stitching a 1/2 inch before the last guideline. Do the other side. Do the back of your piece, and then in the next video I will show you how to sew your side seams.